Dude,
My
oh, go ahead.
my
Sorry.
wife and I have seen every single of the viewaskewniverse movies, which for people that don't know, Kevin Smith has two types of movies.
Mm-hmm.
He has his movies like Red State and Tusk and Yoga Hosers.
See, those are the ones I've not heard of.
Yeah, and then those are like one world, and then everything else takes place in what's called the viewaskewniverse. And
now, what's that a reference to?
The production company's name is View Askew.
Okay.
So like anything with Jay and Silent Bob in it is part of that world. Right?
Snoochies.
Yeah. And anything without them, like Red State is about like
you keep saying Red State. Is this something that I should know? Movie. It's a horror movie. I got you.
Have you seen it, Rob? Because I haven't seen
it. I have. It's not that good, but there's a solid 20 minutes of it that's pretty terrifying.
Rob, I feel like you're being nice right now. You're being kind to Mr.
I have
Smith.
a love-hate relationship. I'm thankful for Kevin Smith.
Me too. I agree. I think that, like I said, I don't know that there's a movie that sort of I watched as many times as Mallrats and that had such a sort of impact on me at that age. I think that, like many things, I think he made some good stuff, and then he's just got a really insufferable fan base, is what we're going to learn.
Oh, well, let's take a look at somebody from the viewaskewniverse subreddit. Name the Sylph Secret, and this is I'm only going to do one of these because there are a lot of them on there. So I have the shortest one. I'm gonna. This is a type of post this guy does. The Sylph Secret. Askewniverse Curiosities, Randall's Ride Home. Now, sometimes I feel like I dedicate more thought to the tiny, inconsequential curiosities in the View Askew universe than I do the broader narratives. Pointless pondering, such as, at the end of Clerks, who was Randall's ride home? Dante asked him if he wants a ride, and he said he's got one. Randall himself has admitted that he doesn't have any friends outside of Dante and Elias. It's reasonable to assume that he had a more friendly acquaintances in 1993, and they slowly drifted away until our boy Sergio was left. It's also possible that he called his cousin Brody for a ride, but we have to consider that this was one night after Brody was offered a television.
We don't have to consider. Listen. So I get it. It is kind of fun just to think about, maybe, I guess, if you're stoned, maybe just like think about this. And I guess there's probably a lot of stoners who are in the View Askew-niverse, I'm guessing. But this is just, I hate this stuff. We talked about it before. What was the South Park. Living in? Yeah, South Park. The South Park guys who would say, who's living in Cleveland's house? Right? Or no.
Yeah.
Stan's house when he's away or something like that. Like, they're just really mad about it. They would need to know, like, who's living in that house.
And nobody, well, there's still more. There's a good chance he was too busy to worry about giving his cousin a ride across town. My gut tells me he called his mom for a ride home.
Okay.
We know.
So is that because you often call your mom for a ride home, sir?
We know he lived with his mom, at least until the end of Clerks 2.
Okay.
We can safely assume he's a mama's boy. Parentheses, people say weird shit during sex. That's a quote. There's something that just makes sense about Randall calling his mother for a ride home from work after fighting with his best friend. When I consider all the possibilities, this one seems, if not the most likely, then the most fitting, if that makes sense.
I have a question because, Rob, you're a expert on the Clerks films, and Randall. Would you say this makes sense to you? Do you believe that it's possible Randall called his mother for a ride home?
This actually opens up a whole other.
Oh, very cool.
Like, now I'm just who dropped Randall off at work?
That's I didn't even.
He just walks into frame.
Yeah. Does he walk? Because if he did, maybe he walks. No, because he asked, "Did you need a ride?" And
what kind of car do you think?
Yeah, what kind of car? And then it also begs the question: when that car was purchased, what did that look like? Where kind of a purchase history does the car have? How much mileage does it have on it? These are fun things to think about.
Here's a little more. Imagine that there were another 20 minutes tagged onto the runtime, and there was an actual scene included of Randall going home. Which option would feel less out of place? Honestly, the
Like
only
at the end of the movie, you're saying they're saying at the end of the movie, like
Yeah.
after it's all wrapped up, just like an additional 20-minute scene. Like are you saying an after credit scene
in a car.
in a car that's 20 minutes long, and then does it wrap up the story in a different way?
Well, no, it just kind of tells you how Randall got home from work, I think is what we're getting at here.
Okay, yeah.
It's important. So anyway, honestly, the only option that makes any sense to me at all is that after watching an hour and a half of Dante and Randall's friendship on full display, something would feel weird about seeing Randall ride home with another friend, even his cousin Brody. After seeing an hour and a half of Dante's love life on display, while only seeing Randall obsess over pornography, it wouldn't feel very fitting to find out he caught a romantic/sexual interest of his to pick him up. This is quote, despite his big talk in Clerks 2, I don't think Randall gets laid near as much as he claims to. The hospital sequence in Clerks 3 establishes that Randall has been, at best, exaggerating his sex life to Dante for their entire lives. But there's something that makes sense about Randall getting in the car with his mom, abashedly shrugging off her support.
Comedy. This is a comedy film.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like you're not. This is not fun anymore.
The shortest one, Chris. This is the shortest one of these.
I can answer all of these with my own theory, and that is Randall is not real. He's a figment of Dante's imagination.
Wow. Okay, this is deep. Have you ever floated this on any of the boards?
No,
you haven't floated the theory online, because it'd be interesting to see from some of the other View Askew. Is there a name for them? People who are Kevin Smith heads?
I mean, they're Kevin Smith guys, is what we're calling them. I don't know if there was like a name.
I think honestly, it's like snooches or something. People who are Jay and Silent Bob fans. I know there's a name for those.
Here is another guy. Groovy Chainsaw replied to this. He said, never gave it much thought. I do remember Randall saying he got a ride home. Maybe one of the rooftop hockey league? But how does he get to work in the morning? He's like opening RSP. Does he walk in, but overprotective mom won't let him walk home in the park? Then I Am Tylaw says, mom does make sense, but so does some skeezy skank that was hanging out earlier that Randall might have talked shit to, like he hated her guts, only to charm her later with that husky voice. Sure, probably some badgering too, until she came back to pick him up and kiss that Roman face. I can imagine Randall.
So now that is this person's fantasizing about like Randall getting some from a girl.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, Randall's like, he's your sexy voice, and he comes back and kisses his face. Like this guy's starting to like get close to, writing like porn fanfic here.
I can imagine Randall climbing through windows to escape morning bedrooms and walking home in the pre-dawn, fucking that neighbor girl he's known.
See, okay, so hang on. This guy,
Jesus Christ,
he's really imagining Randall fucking a lot. This is a crossover Kevin Smith sex guy, definitely.
Well, Cooler Than said he probably had a lady that he was having a physical relationship, or maybe just some guy that he knew with a car. Also, he might not say that he has any friends outside of Elias and Dante, but Randall talks a lot of shit. I grew up with guys like that.
Wait. Yeah, maybe you probably have some. This guy's saying like Randall's, he says he doesn't have any friends, but like, yeah, I bet he's got some. He's always. This is.
I would be friends with Randall.
A lot of them are thinking that they would be friends with Randall. Definitely.
Yeah, me and Randall would get along. We're kind of, that type of guy.